Good afternoon.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Isaac, we'll do this as well as we can, but we are having major internet issues here with Comcast the last couple days. So I hope we can get through this thing quickly without me being knocked off.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Hey, you know what, Isaac? I had problems earlier today in depositions as well with Comcast. And Mr. Najjar, I put it on my hotspot when I did have problems, but I called Comcast and they rebooted from their end. So hopefully it'll work. I've got it on Comcast now.
Yeah, well, at least I know there's two of us at risk here. That's actually a great idea to put it on the hotspot.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go ahead and do that right away. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not started just yet. I don't have my video on either yet.
Is your internet fine?
It's up and down.
It's up and down?
Yeah, why? Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, Dan. How are you doing?
Fine. Did Joan talk to you about that one change in your testimony?
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, it's not a problem. I just thought it would go easier. Actually, Donna Venable caught it. I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's well, when you read it enough, sometimes you see it, but you don't see it. So yeah, so
Exactly.
I'll make that correction on the stand.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? You keeping pretty busy?
Oh, it's been a nightmare trying to deal with a Zoom legislative session. And it's first for me. I've never seen anything quite like that. There's William. Good.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I still haven't seen the the PRC reorg bill that we keep hearing is coming, but
Yeah, well, I hear rumors of it.
yeah. It's,
I guess it'll be what it'll be, Dan.
well, do you guys, does anybody at the commission have a home yet? Even the commissioners? Are they over in the Bolcom building? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, the negotiations are around locating the commission, part of the commission in the Boken building.
But they haven't moved in yet, right?
No, I don't think so. No, they haven't moved in. They're making arrangements to do that.
Yeah. Let me-
Yeah, we are not in the Bochum building yet. It sounds like the commissioners want us to get at least some space over there as quickly as possible, but with the renovations and stuff, my guess it'll be at least a month before we could even consider having some people there. And then we only are, going to have about 45 seats over there. So with the governor's order right now, state, that will probably be renewed. We'll see what happens. But right now, state agencies are only supposed to be at 50% capacity in there if they have people in the office. So that would mean we'd only, if that stays in place, once the building is ready to move into, that'll, be 20, 25 people max that'll be able to. So I think it'll be more for commissioners and hearing examiners will probably be the first priority to get office space again.
I don't even know what it's going to be like to ever get back to a hearing room. I'm
Yeah,
at the point now where I hope we never do. We're finally getting decent at Zoom hearings. I'm sure Melissa didn't like to hear that, but no.
No, actually, I'm enjoying it. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I just, it's a time saver. I can sit here and work up until my next thing and not have to worry about it. But I
That's-
do miss seeing you all in person though.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hi, Joan.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, good.
I think we're just waiting on Russell and Bill Templeman.
Okay, John Bogatko will not be on this call either, so.
Okay. And there's Russell.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Your hearing
afternoon.
examiner speaking. I apologize for not being visually available. I'm having some webcam problems. I think I'm gonna have to get another one. I'm running through these webcams pretty quickly from the, I might have to just buy my own next time. Let's see. Let me just.
Which is what I did, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
your webcam looks like it's working very well now, Joan. So.
Yeah.
Let me just notepad. I'll be right. See, so I guess it looks like we're waiting on Bill Templeman.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, he has 1 minute. We'll give him a little more than 1 minute.
Okay. And just for your information, John Bogatko won't be on this call.
Okay. He's probably very busy with many other matters at the moment.
Yeah,
I think he's working on the EP rate case, so he's probably doing post-hearing briefing on that.
probably. And there's just a lot of stuff.
There's just a lot.
And
That's a
you
good way.
know-
That I would say would describe these past few years. There's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, I was being very sympathetic to you after I heard, or general counsel's office, after I heard the commissioners saying, oh, why can't we have these, various, discussions and proposed orders and everything from general counsel's office on Friday.
Yes, that will change things a bit.
Everyone, keep in mind that we're live streaming this to the public, so.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's a good reminder.
Thank you.
I haven't said anything
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed to say in front of the public, but
No, and I didn't either, but I just that
Well, thank you,
wow,
Isaac. I do appreciate that.
that's got to load up your plate.
Yeah,
I
or
was just
just
waiting
it
for-
might just mean a sort of a delay of a week to catch up, so that I won't be doing things on weekends and Monday mornings as much for the following week. So yeah, hopefully we'll get on the right track, and then we'll be all set, and there will be
Do you
no
think?
problem.
Do you want me to call Bill Templeman?
No, he's here.
He's
I
on.
see him.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm here.
right. Looks like we have everybody. So let's go ahead and go on the record.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so I will introduce myself. My name is Russell Fisk. I'm an associate general counsel for the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission, and I'm also the hearing examiner for this matter. The court reporter has been provided with a caption, so I won't describe the full caption of the case, but this is in case number, commission case number 20-00127 UT with regard to the petition of Continental Divide Electric Co-op for ETC designations. This is the hearing on the second phase of that petition, or the second phase hearing on the, with regard to that petition, which concerns the requests for ETC designation for the purposes of participation in federal Lifeline, the federal Lifeline program, and the state LITAP. That's for the court reporter, an acronym LITAP, all caps. The state LITAP program, which provides a matching amount with regard to the federal Lifeline program. So we've already held one hearing. We held a hearing in the first phase of this matter, and I haven't held a pre-hearing conference lately in this matter, but I would presume that the party is going to want to proceed in the same manner in which we did in the first phase hearing, that there will be no opening arguments. We'll proceed directly to testimony, and that will begin with Continental Divide's witness, and then cross-examination, and then go on to, and then redirect if any, and then go on to staff's witness, and follow that same procedure. Am I correct there?
Yes.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, so, and I'll have the counsel for the three parties to this matter introduce themselves. We'll start with Continental Divide's counsel, and then also the two witnesses for the, or three witnesses, excuse me. Well, I guess we only have two witnesses. Is that
Right.
correct? We have two witnesses. Okay, two witnesses for that they'll be testifying today to identify themselves as well for the record. So let's start with counsel for Continental Divide.
This is Dan Najjar of the firm Virtue and Najjar, representing Continental Divide Electric Cooperative. And would you like me to introduce my witness?
Yes, please do. That's a good idea.
Okay, our witness is Mr. William Dixon, who will be sponsoring two exhibits today.
Thank you. Joan, would you like to introduce yourself and
Yes.
your witness?
Yes. My name is Joan Ellis, and I represent the staff of the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission. And Mr. Mike Ripperger will be the witness for staff. And we have one exhibit, which is his direct testimony.
Right, and Bill? You're muted. Bill, you're muted. So Bill's trying to figure out how to unmute, so give him a second.
Okay.
Bill, if you
I
have
think-
the full view of all of us on the screen, then you should have a mute button in the lower left-hand corner. Sometimes though, this Zoom will do weird views where you can't find the mute button, but if you move the cursor around, I think you'll find it eventually. I know sometimes there are views I get on Zoom where you can't find any of the buttons and it gets confusing, but if you do escape, sometimes that helps. Sometimes if you just move the cursor around, you can find it.
I think if Isaac clicks over his name, he can ask him to unmute. That might help.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I tried doing that. I'm gonna try clicking and ask to unmute again, Bill. It might, if it prompts you to unmute, try clicking on that. Just tried to send that. And if all else fails, you can try logging out and then logging back into the meeting.
Aha. He's trying, but he's still muted. I can see his picture.
Mhm.
Can we send him a chat thing saying, look in your left-hand corner of your screen?
I think he can hear us.
Maybe,
can't-
Mr.
he-
Fisk,
Yes,
maybe he
Dan?
can participate by phone. Is there an option to call in?
There is, and he has used that before, so he might end up just doing that. We'll see. We'll just give him a minute here.
I hope I didn't miss anything. I got bumped off my internet.
Oh, no, court reporter, Ms. Goodson, we are just waiting for Bill Templeman, attorney for the NMECG. He'll introduce himself. He's still muted and he's having some trouble getting himself unmuted. It looks like he's calling in
Okay,
now from, yeah, he's calling in now instead. Bill, we see that you're calling in from 505-216-3070. Is that you?
Yes, it is. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for the record.
All right, it's William Templeman on behalf of the New Mexico Exchange Carrier Group, an intervener in the case. I apologize for the technical problems.
Oh, no problem. All right, so I think that's everybody. We have Donna Venables on the phone, but Dan, she's not going to be testifying. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's
Donna
fine.
will just be observing.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with Continental Divides case. Dan, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. We'll call Mr. William Dixon to have him sworn in.
Mr. Dixon, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do swear.
Oops. Okay. He's unmuted, I hope. Well, Mr. Dixon, would you please state your name and business address for the record?
My name is William Dixon. My place of business is 200 East High Street, Grants, New Mexico.
And by whom and in what capacity are you employed?
I am employed by Continental Divide Electric Cooperative as the Information Technology Manager and Network Engineer.
Okay. Mr. Dixon, you should have before you a document which has been marked CDEC Exhibit Number 1, Phase 2. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Would you please describe that document for the record?
That is my written direct testimony in support of our Lifeline status case and 2 attachments.
Was Exhibit CDEC 1, Phase 2, prepared by you or under your direct supervision?
Yes, it was.
And do you have any changes to make to this exhibit at this time?
I do not.
Are the changes and statements made, are the statements made in Exhibit CDEC 1, Phase 2 true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
And with these statements, you adopt CDEC Exhibit 1, Phase 2 as your testimony here today?
I do.
We would move for admission Exhibit CDEC-1, Phase 2.
Okay,
No.
are there any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, then CDEC Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Mr. Dixon, you all should have the document before you identified as CDEC Exhibit 2, Phase 2. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Would you please describe that document?
That document is written testimony in rebuttal to staff's comments originally submitted on this case, as well as 1 attachment.
Okay. Was CDEC Exhibit Number 2, Phase 2 prepared by you or under your direct supervision?
Yes, it was.
And do you have any changes to make to this exhibit at this time?
I do not.
Are the statements made in CDEC-2, Phase 2 true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
Do you adopt this as your sworn testimony here today?
Yes, I do.
And we would move the admission of Exhibit CDEC-2, Phase 2.
Are there any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, CDEC Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Okay, is there any cross-examination?
I don't have any questions on behalf of the NMECG.
And staff has no questions either.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dixon. You are off the stand, so to speak. If there are any follow-up questions resulting from Mr. Ripperger's testimony, then there may be you may be asked a few more questions, but probably not. So please do stay on the line. So let's proceed to the case by staff of the Telecommunications Bureau of the Commission.
Yes, may we please have Mr. Ripperger sworn in?
Mr. Ripperger, do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Ripperger.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ellis.
Would you please state your name and, just for kicks, your business address?
My name is Michael Ripperger. I'm the Telecommunications Bureau Chief for Advocacy Staff at the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission. My P.O. Box for the commission is P.O. Box 1269, Santa Fe, New Mexico 87504. Permanent address to be seen soon, maybe.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mr. Ripperger, did you cause to be filed the direct testimony, your direct testimony in this second phase of the docket on January 15th, 2021.
Yes.
And do you have any corrections that have been pointed out to you since the document was submitted?
Yes, Continental Divide was nice enough to point out that on page 12, line 13, that instead of Zuni Pueblo, I put Zia Pueblo, and I apologize for any mix-up on that. So that is my one correction to my testimony.
Okay, and thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Would it be proper for the court reporter to make that correction, or would you like us to submit a new document?
So the exhibit that was submitted to Isaac either yesterday or this, I think it was yesterday. That exhibit
Yes.
does not contain the correction.
That's correct. We just found out about it this morning, courtesy of CDC.
It would be fine with me just to have the correction noted on the record, and
Okay.
I think that would be sufficient for me. Does anyone have any objection to that proceeding in that way?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And was this testimony prepared by you and under your supervision?
Yes, it was.
And outside of this other, strike all that. Mr. Ripperger, your testimony was filed prior to the rebuttal testimony, the exhibit 2 of CDEC, was it not?
Yes.
So if I asked you the same questions in that, and you gave the same answers, would that be amended by any discussion you may have currently on the stand in response to the rebuttal testimony?
Well, my testimony at the time of filing remains the same. I would have the same
Right,
questions
right.
and answers. I would say that Continental Divide did a good job of addressing those. I appreciate it, and my testimony and support still stands.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Ripperger, do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't. I think that Continental Divide did a good job of going through the checklist of items. I asked them to clarify, and they did that, and my testimony still stands in support of their approval.
Okay, Mr. Hearing Examiner, staff would like to move into exhibit 1, move into evidence staff exhibit 1.
Okay, are there any objections?
No objection.
No objections.
Okay, staff exhibit 1 is admitted.
And we would please, we would like to pass the witness for cross-examination.
Is there any cross?
We have no cross-examination for him in light of his answers on direct.
All right, do you have any
No,
questions?
I have no questions.
All
No,
right.
no questions.
All right, well, with that, the evidentiary record is closed. And as the parties to this matter are aware, the council and parties are aware, my usual practice when an ETC petition is not opposed, and when staff has made a recommendation of granting the petition, as staff has done here, will be to, I propose that I will issue a recommended decision and ask that the parties would waive exceptions based on the fact that the recommended decision will be recommending to the commission to grant the requested ETC designations in this second phase of the hearing with regard to federal lifeline participation and state LITAP participation. With that, I would, the usual practice is that I leave a caveat there that if there's any issues with the language of the RD, that of course I will entertain, I will consider any objections or exceptions in that way, but would the parties be willing to waive exceptions on that basis?
Yes, the
Yes.
continental divide waives exceptions.
So does staff.
And so does the NMECG.
Okay, excellent. So as you heard before the hearing, as Joan was discussing, now that we have a very strict deadline of getting things to the commission by Friday, I probably will not be placing this matter on next week's agenda, but probably the week after. I'll probably issue the RD next week, and then it will be on the following week's agenda, because you may have noticed we have a special open meeting tomorrow, and I have some other things for the agenda, and I don't want to miss our strict Friday deadline for those. So I do plan on putting the RD out next week and then having it on the commission's agenda for the following. So is there anything else that we need to address, anyone?
Nothing
No.
else. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner, and also all the parties. It is a pleasure to work in a cooperative manner.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay.